Good morning, everyone. This is Faith Gauthier of theinspirededge.com. This morning, we are doing the second part of our interview with Jill Jennings of Highland Photography. We are thrilled to have her as our guest this morning, and we hope you enjoy. Good morning, Jill.
Good morning, Faith.
Now, Jill, I was asking you in our first interview, do you carry your own photography backup equipment?
Yes, I do. And I have an assistant as well, and they have equipment as well.
So the bride is very well covered if she goes with you.
Yes. You never know. Things happen, so you really don't want to rely on anybody else other than a professional for, you don't want anything to go wrong with your photos on the day of your wedding.
Yeah, and we've all heard those horror stories.
Yes, definitely have.
Now, let's see. Now, if a bride comes into you, she wants to go with you, this type of thing, do you carry insurance, and do you have her sign a contract?
Yes, I have a business license, I have insurance, and I have contracts. And we both sign the contract, and it's to cover both bride and photographer. You never can be too careful. You make sure your photographer does have insurance. That's the most important, and a business license. Because with a business license, you have to have insurance. So it's kind of, well, actually you don't. But some people get away with just getting the business license. But really double check that they have insurance. That you can find out yourself if you want to.
Yeah, I remember giving that advice to a friend of mine that was flying back to meet some photographers, and he met with about 10 of them, and he asked them, and turns out that all out of 10 photographers he went to meet, there was only 1 or 2 that actually even carried insurance.
Yes, I've heard that as well, definitely. So, and it's expensive, so you have to be a legitimate business to be able to afford insurance. It's something that I don't think people realize how important it is. They really should.
Yeah, it's just a way to make sure that you're covered, and so it's just a safeguard in case anything happening. But now also, do you prefer to do formals before the wedding with the bride and groom, or after the ceremony?
Before is always my preference. Reason being, the bride and groom get to relax with their guests soon after their ceremony, and it's a bit of more of a relief, and they can relax their ceremony, knowing that most of the pictures are done. I do like to spend a little bit of time after the bride and groom have spent 5 minutes together right after the ceremony. I do like to ask if there is anybody who's missed their grandma in case she's running late, didn't make it before the ceremony, things like that. I always double check, that they've got everything.
Yeah, and I think it's a good idea too. Then your guests aren't waiting for an hour for you while you're having your photos done. So you get done a little bit quicker, and you can have fun with your guests and visit with them more.
Definitely, yeah. The people travel to see the bride and groom, and definitely they want to spend as much time with the couple as possible.
Yeah, that's very good advice. And then, do you recommend if a bride meets with you and she really likes your work that she put a deposit down?
Yes. If you know there's a click there, don't hesitate, because it's happened to me. A bride will say, "I really love you. I'm getting my mum to send you a check." It never arrives, and meanwhile somebody else has come, because we do get busy, and life is busy, and we can't always remember if they want the same date. So unless there's a deposit down and you're in the book, then you're not guaranteed the date. So somebody will come along and snatch up the date, and then you'll call them up and say, "We want the date." And it's so sad, and especially if the photographer really likes the client, which I've had some brides, I'm like, "Oh, please choose me," because it just seems so wonderful, and you just know that you'll click on the day, and it's sad for somebody to go out the door, and you know that you're perfect for the photographer as well, and then somebody else comes along and I'm not quite as happy with the quickness. You know what I mean?
Right. So how far ahead do you usually book in advance?
Well, 3 years, I've booked as far as 3 years, 2 years a year. And yeah, I'd say the average is about 8 months.
So if somebody really likes a photographer, you need to book, put your money down and get that photographer so you get your date.
Yeah, don't beat around the bush. You know it's a fit and you're happy. Yeah, definitely put the deposit down as soon as you. Well, hopefully with the meeting, I usually reckon that's the best time to do it because you're there. They'll be able to give you the contract signed. And if a photographer doesn't have a contract, forget that. Please don't.
Yeah.
If there's no contract to sign and the photographer won't sign, then I had a story that the photographer, no, I don't sign, you just sign. No, the photographer signs the contract as well.
Yeah, the photographer needs to put their John Hancock on that contract, and if they don't, you need to walk out that door because that's a little bit on the scary side. Especially they want you to sign and they're not willing to, so that means they don't stand behind their work.
That's right. Yes, and definitely make sure the business license as well, and they have good standing. You can always look up consumer affairs and stuff like that. So make sure that they're definitely legit.
Yeah, very, very good advice. Now, any last minute advice you would have for the brides?
Oh, just definitely enjoy. And if anything goes wrong, then just ignore it. Let it go. Let it go past you. Don't dwell on something. Nobody's going to notice it unless you make a big deal of it. Things go wrong. Little things go wrong. Unless the groom doesn't show up, then that's a panicking time.
Gotcha.
But you know what? Don't worry about it, girls. He's probably on his way.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for spending the time with us this morning, Jill, and giving advice to our brides. I'm sure they really appreciate it too, because it's so hard when you're planning a wedding to know all these things, all these little details you need to do.
Oh, yes, definitely. Well, no problem. Anytime. I'll speak to you anytime, Steve. No problem.
Thank you, Jill.
All right. Thank you.